The Alliance 12-12 seeks to leverage new sector expertise and innovative solutions to improve the resilience of 12,760 households over all 12 months of the year in 10 communes and in 115 villages located in the agro-pastoral and marginalized agricultural livelihood zones in 2 regions of Niger, the region of Tahua and the region of Maradi. These are all southern parts of Niger, much closer to the Nigerian border. The project seeks to leverage private sector and investment and innovation to increase and sustain livelihood incomes, assets, and adaptive capacity. It also seeks to strengthen the organizational capacity of Farmers Association to sustain member services, manage risks, and leverage business opportunities. The project is one of the most successful projects LWR has had in the last 5 years. In terms of population of household resilient to shocks, now this is a context in which shocks, particularly recurrent shocks, either through drought or too much rain or security, creates disruption in people's livelihoods. At baseline, population, a number of people who were resistant to shocks from the previous year increased from 48% to about 120%. That's way over its target. That means if 48% of the beneficiaries served last year were able to respond or mitigate shocks, the next year, over 120, by the end of the project, over 120% of them over the 5-year period were able to do that. And that means they now understand when to grow their crops. They now understand how to store their crops. They now have information from Airtel communicating the price of their commodities, so they know when to hold, they know when to sell, they know what's the actual market prices. So they are not just completely susceptible to just the market forces. They do have some information at their disposal. The other important indicator here is what is called the yields of targeted commodities among the program participants. And I'll give you 2 because these 2 commodities are really important in Niger. One is millet, and the other is cowpeas. The production of millet increased significantly by over 80% by the end of the program cycle, and cowpeas by over 73%. So if you look at these 2 major indicators, it means people are now able to resist shocks. They're now able to maintain some decent level of livelihoods after some of the recurrent shocks because of the intervention of this project. And they're now able to grow more crops. They're now able to grow more for sale and for food, for household consumption. I thought those were really important components to mention in this interviews, just to give you a perspective of the success of the Alliance 12-12. Now, fattening of sheep is a program that allows poor households to go to the market, buy sheep, maybe through the unions, maybe through a group of women, buy sheep at a lower price, bring them to their communities, the villages, and we supported them in a fattening program, providing them with this, supporting them with what kind of nutritious food the sheep needs to eat, supporting them with veterinarian services that are much closer to them in the villages, providing them with understanding of what the sheep market is. And they could fatten the sheep for 3 to 4 months period and sell them in the markets for 15-25% profit margin. And this was seen as a way of protecting not just their limited resources, their assets, but also it was seen as a resilience, as a means of combating the shocks that they were faced with from time to time, because they would always have something. They would have the sheep, or they will have some money to buy sheep. So they're not in a situation where if there's a shock, for example, they can't take care of their children, they can't take care of their families. So through the sheep fattening program, we were able to, it was mainly focused on women. Women were the main beneficiaries of this for the most part, because they could stay at home and provide animal feed at low cost through their unions, subsidized costs basically through their unions, and fatten the sheep and take the sheep to the market and sell for 15 to 25%.